Good evening.
Why do you have to lead with, why do you treat me so bad? Good evening.
I'm just saying, I'm speaking to everybody else, not to you.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out in that cyberland, cyber world? How's everybody feeling?
It's Friday.
It is Friday. Thank God it is Friday.
It is Friday.
That's a big saying, and the TIG Fridays, like TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I thank God it's every day, right?
Yes.
And so we see Ashton. What's up, bro? We see you out there still supporting us, even though you're working. He's doing double duty.
Isn't that how it always is?
Right. He's always working hard, but he keeps us together.
He sure does.
He tried to produce the show from afar, but
you got to lean in and say no. You focus on the full-time job,
right? Because that's what pays the bills.
That's
Not
what
that
pays the bills.
We won't, but you asked me to send you something, right? Let me see if I can pop. You kind of dissed me last night, acting like I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, you mean you didn't know how to share the results from a Google form?
Wait, first of all, why do you have to put it out like that? Okay, see,
well,
this is why
alluded to it.
I didn't allude to anything. All I said was I felt some kind of way about you dissing me last night. I didn't tell the people why or how.
Well, I want the people to know why you felt like I was dissing you. It's because I asked for access to a Google form, the results, and he didn't know how to provide them. So he thought I was being annoying, everybody. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Keith. Good to see you all.
Listen, I'm not gonna get sucked into. I've been practicing what I've learned this week in my workshops. I learned how to bridge conversations without actually answering or reacting the way that the person who's asking questions want me to. So I'm going to try that and roadblocks and maneuvering around responding to questions that I don't want to respond to.
Like this.
Welcome to Refuel, everybody.
Welcome. Woo. I've missed it.
Hey, Keith. It's good. I know, right? I miss connecting with you on here. I miss us doing our Friday night shindig. So so it's good to see you out there, Keith. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for trying to stay connected with us. I've had a crazy couple of weeks, but we have to catch up one day and just see what's going on. We want everyone to know that Refuel obviously has transitioned from us doing our past sermons more into a conversation.
Yeah.
And we just chat it up, talk about some things that's going on in our community, the world, and what's going on, what's the current events, like what's popping in our denomination, Unity Fellowship Church movement. And so we're still trying to work out some kinks, and we are also not naming that we will not have past sermons. Okay, I don't want to be very clear that we're not saying that we're still not going to keep with that format. We're just saying that as we moved into this pandemic and we started off with the sermons, we thought it was great to try to have some connection with the community and just try to keep us engaged throughout the week. And so here we are.
Here we are. And there's so much out there, right? That we want to expose people to, right? We still have some sermons that we're keeping tucked in our pocket for that special moment and that right moment. But there's a wealth of information, and what I appreciate is that this is indicative to what our church proclaims, right? So we don't do, on Wednesday nights, we don't do the traditional Bible study where we're opening up the Bible physically and digging deeper. We've expounded upon sermons. We've taken written material and kind of dug deeper into that. So Refuel is just that type of format. So thank you everybody for continuing to lean in with us and joining and sharing. And so we are really appreciative of that.
Yeah, shout outs to our bishops, Bishop Jack, Bishop Thomas, Bishop Holland, we love you. We hope that you all are doing well. And to our Archbishop Carl Bean, we love you, man. We thank you for what you continue to do for us. And yeah, we're just excited. I just got a text message about a tennis match tomorrow at 9 a.m. I am excited about playing, which means that I won't be able to eat a lot. I fixed the pizza. Oh yeah.
Pizza with real bread?
No. Cauliflower dough.
You made the dough?
No.
Okay.
Anybody out there that have tried the frozen cauliflower pizza dough? It is really, when I tell you, first of all, it's low in carbs. So let me just put that out there. Everybody know that I'm all about low carbs. Low carbs, and it comes with the already the cheese and the tomato paste already on it, and all you have to do is either eat it like it is, but I end up putting pepperoni, bacon, and some stuff on it. No carbs. I put no carbs on the pizza. It is absolutely divine. Okay, so you can get them from any Safeway, Giant, Costco. I get mine from Sam's, and you just stick it in for about 20 minutes, and it is delicious. It's low carb, and again, it's a way to eat pizza without having the kind of feeling. So
I like the kind of feeling. I just use the non-bread or Pillsbury dough. Like, give me the carb.
But here's the thing: you won't know. Johnson, I promise you, if you try it, you will not notice the difference. I got Angela hooked on it, and you know that's the queen chef. Like she cooks every day. I'm grateful. I am so grateful. But listen, every day I gotta argue with her. Do not fix no bread. Like she wants to make bread, and she wants to cook rice, and she wants to do pasta. And she elaborate kind of meals. Like reminds me so much of you when you used to bake and cook. You know, back in the day before you had children. Speaking of. The twins' birthday was Friday.
It was last Friday, September 4th. Yeah. My little guys turned 1 year old.
I am so happy about that. I had an opportunity to see them on Saturday as we did the parade. I love it was just and they were just so happy about being out, and it was great. It was just great. And thanks for all those that came by.
Yeah,
I had to do my duty.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got burnt on the head, by the way. I meant to tell you that.
Really? It was good. It was good to see you. That was the first time we were together for more than
passing by, right?
Passing by drop off. In months. So yeah, it was good. And I they had a good time. We enjoy, lesson learned. We can't gotta stop doing stuff around their nap time. So we had a 1 o'clock parade, and they normally go down about 11:45. So Bryce is truly my child because he doesn't care where he is or what he's doing. If he's tired, he's just gonna close his eyes and he's gonna go to sleep. So,
and she's not lying. Johnson will go to sleep anywhere. Listen, in a corner of a hotel, in the back of the seat of a car, in a bar, like she will be gone. Okay.
You remember we went to Vegas. Your birthday. I
don't even listen. Let me set this story up. It is my birthday, and I wanted both my sisters there, and my best friend Keith came, my bro. So we all, and I had some other friends that came, some people that are very dear to me, and had this big, huge weekend plan, right? And Joy came, my sister, she came, and we're just all partying and everything. And then my sister Angela flew in, and she's a little high up there, so she's like, we're not going to be riding around in no taxi. Let's just rent a limousine. So she rents this big limousine right at the spur of the moment, right? We were at dinner, and she's like, this is what we're going to do. So I'm like, okay, fine. So we go, and we're hopping club to club to club, and we're going VIP, and we popping bottles. And at the last club, second to the last, we're trying to figure out where did Joy and Carla go. We don't know where they go. So my friend Michelle, my other sister, she's like looking around, and we're all looking around for these two. Guess where these two women were? That's where they were. In the limousine, sleep. Tired. I'm in the middle of the floor, knocked on each other, knocked out.
Oh God.
Party for your brother's birthday, and then knocked out at the second to the last club. They tried.
Listen, we tried, but we were 2 nights in, right? And so this was after literally getting off a plane, dropping off our clothes, and then just on the go. And so by that club, I was tired. I was, Joy's on.
Yeah. Joy was trying to hang out with the dogs, and she was just, I can't do no more. I mean, who goes to a club, sits in VIP, and go to sleep, right, Michelle? And who leaves the club and goes sit in the limousine? Carla and Joy.
And then the next night, you had a party in your suite, and I actually took your bathrobe, wrapped up in the corner on the sofa, and went to sleep. Listen.
She listen. And then Joy talking about something that was some good sleep. Girl, you wouldn't know that wasn't no good sleep. We was up there worried. We thought that they got snatched up. We were in the, like, we were like, first of all, it was a long night. And it was a lot of us that came to celebrate.
We had just had dinner at we had the Hell's Kitchen experience, right?
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
No, we went to Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was okay. So we went to Gordon Ramsay.
Wait, was that my birthday? Yeah, that was good.
So, I mean, we had copious amounts of food and drinks, and we had been to 4 clubs by the time we got, this was the 5th club.
That's true.
Listen.
But it was epic.
Okay.
No blood, no shit.
Oh, God.
It was so much fun. And I so loved everybody that came. You guys were awesome and amazing. But getting back to the twins, the Platinum Twins, listen, it was their birthday, and I love the fact that I got to come over and decorate the table because they ain't know what they were doing. Where's Loretta? Bless Loretta's heart. Loretta right here. She was trying to do her best. I tell you, I loved it. I enjoyed it so much.
We had fun. And you had some. What's your comments about my basement, Sean?
So as we're talking about a pandemic, and I recognize that the sister Joy is what I would consider to be a
preparer.
She would be proactive. Okay. as we're going to talk about our convocation thing, proaction, but as we're talking about proaction, they were like, oh, Sean, we were eating or whatever, and it was like, hey, can you go in the basement and get some tile paper, right? So I'm like, okay, sure. I don't know where it's going to be. I'm thinking, basement. Like, I've been in her basement many times. I don't know what's going to be in there. But when I walked in, I felt like I was at Costco or Sam's because there was so much of stuff there. Like, they had 10 bottles of bleach and 50 million rolls of toilet paper and paper towels and paper products. And then there were like detergent and detergent sheets, and there was like spray. And then there was a little area where apparently they must wash stuff down.
It is. You wash it down, and that it had to get quarantined.
I had to get quarantined. There was like little sections of these areas where stuff was like, I was like,
you know what? Loretta was in the basement. She came by to check my washer's leaking. My washing machine's leaking, and she turned around to the left, and she was like, "This looks like a flea market." Like,
like the truth is, like, here's the real tea. Like, seriously, if I wasn't going somewhere else after that, I might have shopped in the basement. In fact, if any of you out there need any product, Lysol, Listerine, pine oil, and Loretta, I saw what you put out there. Tell myself, if I was on time, maybe you wouldn't have to do it. I'd catch you, boo. I got you. You're right. I was 15 minutes late. You're right. Nonetheless, if you want toilet paper, if you want paper towels, if you want forks or knives or spoons, if you need towel paper, if you need dish detergent, if you need dishwashing, if you need any product that you normally would get from Sam's or Costco or even a dollar store, just stop on by the Johnson's.
Be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Listen. And that's what our theme of convocation is about, right? It's proaction, right? And so how do we be proactive in getting prepared? So I just thought that was, and so here's another dirt, right? I wanted to take a picture and then put it on Facebook and just talk about it, but I got so wrapped up into the Popeyes chicken. I forgot. I totally forgot to take the picture because I was trying to get the towel paper or the napkins back to eat the chicken. Hilarious. I'm so glad I had an opportunity to spend some time with my family. That was pretty dope.
Yes.
I told her if you run out of water, that's another thing, right, Loretta? Thank you for reminding me. And she had tons of water. Like honestly, this is why we don't have towel paper and paper towels and water. It's because of people like Johnson.
That is
enjoy.
So we have water specifically because we have to use water. We do not want to use the tap water for the little guys. So all of that water is for them.
All of that water?
All that water. I don't have it. All of that water is purified or distilled. I brought myself the Brita pitcher, so I fill that up for me and Joy.
And Joy, you are right. The other half of the basement was nothing but toys and gifts from everyone.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. You know what? Speaking of toys and gifts, today I got rid of all of my living room furniture, and now my living room.
Oh, you know what? Can I show? Oh, Joy might not want me to show it.
Has been transformed to the learning.
We've got to show that picture.
What'd you say?
Joy, let me know about to share that picture.
She hasn't even seen the picture.
Oh, you got to see the picture. The picture is hilarious. Johnson, I got to share the picture. I got to show the picture. I want y'all to see what happens when you get twins, right? When you get kids and you start to transform your Johnson house. Let me just name that. When you start to check this out, y'all. Check this out. She done. So what I love though that you all are doing is very unconventional, and I think that is really dope. And I get that. What I love that the two of you are mindful of is what is the need of the children, right? And so what works, what doesn't work, and you all have definitely. I'm not going to show it because Joy will probably get me afterwards, and I ain't got enough.
They're not. The little guys are not in the frame. It's just the area. We're still getting it together, but it gives you an idea of what's changed.
So check this out, y'all. This is what. So from a living room perspective with couches and tables and chairs and stuff like that to this. Check this out. Boom! Talk about a kid's living room. When I tell you them kids got every single thing, they are ready to rock and roll and walk and stroll. They watching their own TV. They own that household. Not Joy or Carla, but the Platinum twins rule that household. I just want you. They done got their moms and to convert the living room into their playroom. How about that? Check that out. That is what I am talking about. You know what I'm saying? I love that y'all just went so left and was like, you know what? We don't need this. Boom, and just made it to where the kids can be just totally free and safe.
Yeah,
and safe. So I love that. I love that about y'all. Y'all listen.
So we have some more Virgos, right? So Reverend Offer, our first gentleman, celebrated his birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! We have Minister Renee's coming up here in the next
birthday.
Minister Speller also celebrates birthday in September. And our very own brother, right-hand man, Mr. Production himself, on September the 25th, Brother Ashton is celebrating his birthday. And let me tell y'all, he is hyped.
He's so hyped.
Chapter 34.
34 went and created his own advertisement. That is, when I tell you that joint is dope, you know what? I don't even know why he hasn't put it out yet. I tell you that thing is fire, it's so interesting when we ask him to do something. We get we got revised 50 million times, but when that joker do something,
it's like that, right? So his signature pose. His signature pose is like this.
This is his signature pose. I love it.
Oh,
That is
gosh.
he has definitely been helping us. And what I love is that he's immersed himself into our ministry.
Yeah.
And he's willing to just say, you know what, use me. And believe me, we use him. Like it's an everyday thing. Like it's and so don't think that. So even though church is only on Sunday, church really starts for us on Monday and goes up to Sunday.
It really does. It really does.
Always throughout the day. So shout outs to Ashton. We hope that we get an opportunity to celebrate you, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the members of Unity Fellowship Church of Baltimore who put hard work in there. Because speaking of, women's ministry is also doing a chat and chew. I want to just spotlight that for a second, Johnson.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Oh shoot, what happened? Where we at? Where we at? Oh, Ashton. Look at Ashton. There we go. There we go. I had to put that up there. Listen, the women's ministry is hosting a chat and chew monthly discussion. They're going to have it tomorrow, September 12th, between the hours of 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. I believe Minister Renee will be spearheading this, so definitely check it out. We'll have more advertisement on our Facebook page. There's the meeting ID there. I encourage all the women, not only part of our ministry, but as well as those that are viewing us at the time, those identify as women, please by all means check it out. And we hope that you'll be able to join our women's ministry as they discuss issues surrounding how to improve your life and connect with other women. Like that's pretty dope. There's a bunch of mentorship, education, growth. It's a whole series. So check it out. They're going to do a monthly. So I'm excited about that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to the women's ministry, Minister Renee, Reverend Ronnie, who was spearheading all of that, women's leading that effort. So shout outs to you, Reverend Austin. Shout out to you too. We love you. And speaking of, I haven't seen Reverend Austin and Mother Emily. We might need to do a knocking chat talk.
Yes.
Seeing what's going on. Yeah. If anybody see them or have heard from them, just check in with us. Just let us know how they doing. Maybe Johnson, send them a text. I'll send them a text too. Just let them know we love them.
Absolutely.
I
was about to say, are you okay to talk about the upset of last night?
I am like so everyone knows that Serena Williams is one of my favorite female tennis players, and she was epic last night, like amazing. Like she really leveled up in that match against Azarenka, who by the way was phenomenal. Like I can't even, and she's like my number 2, so I was excited that one of them was in a semifinals. But I also want to say that this is the 19th anniversary, I believe, of the stand-in in terms of when women in tennis decided to, I believe it's 19 years, decided to stand for equal pay, equal opportunity, and things like that. So it's Billie Jean was one of the first women who was like, hey, we can't be treated like this, trying to be proactive and things like that. So yesterday was really epic for women's tennis. Not to mention, it was the best night of women tennis that I have ever seen. If anyone has seen the semifinals of the U.S. Open, Brady versus Osaka, which is Brady's from America. Osaka is representing Japan. Phenomenal match. Young women who were, driving the ball hard, was phenomenal. And then after that match, you had what they consider to be the rivals, who are close friends, but also at the same time older. Serena's going to be 39. Azarenka was going to be 32, I believe. And they both have children. So it's the battle of the mothers. It was phenomenal. So I am okay. I was a little sad about Serena not winning, but I am so grateful that Azarenka has the opportunity to, this will be her first time in the majors in 7 years after being pregnant and things like that. So I am just ecstatic about it. And I trust and believe that Serena is going to, level up. She's going to go back and prepare herself for the French Opening. So I'm excited about that.
So Osaka has been in the news recently with her stance on some of the civil unrest that's been going on. What are your thoughts as an avid tennis enthusiast?
So she was actually one of the first women to follow the NBA, the WBA and NBA, who decided not to play or practice on a specific day, and this was during the Cincinnati Open. So West Cincinnati Open. So I think it was phenomenal that every single time she came out on the court, you know, she's a public figure. She wore a mask that had one of the names of one of the victims who were murdered through police brutality. So she was bringing awareness to, yeah, it was phenomenal. And so not only did she not play one night, in fact, the semifinals is really huge. And to say I'm not going to play, you know, it's like forfeiting your match. It was like, hey, I'm not going to play. So that was huge in tennis because nobody's ever done that. And then to know that every single time she comes out on the court for the US Open, she's making sure that people know and are aware of what's going on. And what I love about the commentators is that they ask, like, so who is this person and what does this person mean? So she had an opportunity to share with them what her thoughts and feelings was. She actually went to Missouri because she's from Beverly Hills, and she said, I wanted to see it for myself. So, you know, I was just excited to see a younger woman who has a stage to also share about how she feels about what's going on. And I think that that's going to touch a lot of young people as well as older people, or people who are, you know, who only see tennis, because there's a lot of people that just watch tennis, right? And so I hope that they kind of get it. And her boyfriend was there, which is the first time. He's a rapper, and I thought that was phenomenal to see. Serena's husband was there, as well as Osaka's boyfriend. So it's just great to see men support their women who are athletes, and it's very rare, at least in terms of, I'm sure the wives are there and things like that. I mean, that's a common thing, you know, when Djokovic or Nadal or any of the Federer, when, you know, their wives are always there, but it's not often that you see the men show up for the women. Like it was just powerful. I thought it was just powerful. It was really powerful. And they're in a bubble, which means that they can't leave once they're there. So to know that the husband and the boyfriends have to totally, like, you know, and to show up for their matches. It was dope. It was a great. So to Saturday is the finals for the women. Naomi Osaka, who is Haitian and Japanese, I believe that's what it is. I'm not quite sure. Don't quote me on that. And then there's Azarenka from, I think she's from Berlin, I think, or Bolivia.
Okay. Nice.
Both of them is going to be epic. So check it out if you haven't seen it. That was a little tennis history, by the way. I'm a tennis guy, so you know, I love. Thank you, Johnson, for asking me that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so,
what?
It's football season. Yes. I don't know about y'all, but I'm excited about it. Listen, the Eagles play on Sunday against, I don't know what they're called now. Yep. So is it a W team? I don't know. I don't know what they're called, but it's the old Redskin team. I don't know what are they called? I need to look that up real quick. I think it's called the Washington team. Redskin.
Is it?
Oh, did they get a new name? I think it's just called the Washington football team. Yeah, it's called the Washington football team. They're fourth in the NFC. Yeah. So the Eagles, which is my team, the Philadelphia Eagles, is playing the Washington, which is a whack name, by the way. Y'all couldn't come up with a better name than that. Washington football team. That is so whack. Washington. It's so whack. Philadelphia is gonna knock them through the ringer. I'm really hoping that. And then Dolphins are playing the Patriots, Packers are playing the Vikings, Colts are playing the Jaguars, Bears are playing the Lions. So the Chiefs won against Texas. So check out that for all. I hope. And then there's a lot of games on Sunday. Oh my Lord, there is like a whole list of other games. The Ravens are playing the Browns. So that should be interesting.
So what did you think about, I think you said the Chiefs, and I may screw this up, but there was either a moment of silence or there was something that happened yesterday and the fans began to boo.
Yeah, so that's a good, yeah. So I didn't see the beginning of the game because obviously I was watching Serena, you know, and Azarenka, but so what they did was they wanted to link and unity. And I see Cowboys. I see you, Bishop Bonnie. I know Cowboys play at 5:20. We're waiting to play y'all, by the way. And I see you. Yep. Oh, football is her sport.
That's destroy the Eagles. Joy Butler says the Washington.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I just bypassed that comment. I wasn't going to name that. But anyway, Joy, watch. You went on. Listen. Don't be all like hiding on Sunday when the Eagles run up on them, okay? I'm just trying to tell y'all, because first of all, figure out why they call themselves the Washington. That's so whack. Figure out something else. I'm just trying to tell you. I see you, Pastor Henry. What's going on, bro? It's good to see you. We got to get you in here and just chat it up with you to catch up. But anyway, so what they did was they decided to link together in unity, and then the crowd started booing. What I don't know is, obviously it's media, so we don't know, when that happened, but they did play it and it did happen, I guess. Yeah. So maybe I should retract what I just said. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah, so I find it I was reading the highlights. So I like football enough to go out and fellowship and make Sean's time very tumultuous, because whoever he's rooting for, I'm rooting for the other team, and I'm charging up his credit card while he is watching the football game.
Time out. Let's talk about the story. See, she gives you like half the information. What Joy and Carla, what their role on football during football season is, to wherever I go to watch the football game, they show up. They show up for multiple reasons. One, to make my life miserable, because if the Eagles are playing, they will sit there with me and decide and go, did the Eagles just miss that ball? Did they just get an interception? Oh, Sean, the score is 20-10 and the Eagles are losing. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And so we sit there. So I try to engage them by offering refreshments to kind of get them quiet. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
To get them quiet. That's hilarious. Yeah, until the bill comes, and then you forget that you've been pacifying us with refreshments all night.
And then when the bill comes, I get stuck with it. That's what they do to me.
Yes, that's what we do.
I see you, Mom. I said, right, they're haters. They are haters, Mom. They are haters out there. But I'm telling you, these two women sit there and literally, and Keith, who's a Cowboys fan, especially if the Cowboys are playing the Eagles or the Redskins, Cassandra, or anybody that shows up who is the opposing team, like them two jokers, don't matter who the Eagles are playing, it is always going to be, the Eagles are losing. I don't know. They're just not that great. They have no clue about football, but seem to always want to show up at the football time. So it is football season.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what we're going to do, because we can't get together and watch no games. But go Eagles. That's right. Fly high, fly high, fly high, fly high.
But my best friend is an avid Eagles fan. So, I'm surrounded by Eagles fans, Sagittarius, and Virgos. Like, I don't know what I did in some past life.
Well, those are the great people to hang out with. That's really the truth. So yeah. So how are you doing in the pandemic?
So I'm doing good, man. Just trying to, maintain. I find it, a lot of places are slowly starting to open, and it's like, I'll get to, oh yeah, this is open, and then 5 other things close. So I found it to be very interesting this week of the breaking news about the book that interviewed the president, with him going on record saying he played down the pandemic and to assuage people's panic. So I'm just kind of sitting with that as we are.
He lied about the pandemic.
Yeah. And so, for me, I am, I have to maintain what I watch from the news perspective, because I go in and I go in deep. But, I'm glad that it came out, as it's, again, more information for people on either side, right? So it can, whoever is your political preference, it gives you more information. It lets those who have been taking this pandemic very serious, and it for me it validated NIH and Dr. Fauci and all of the people who have been on the front lines and have been attacked for wanting to ensure that people are cautious and wearing masks and social distancing. So, I'm glad it came out. It was, as I sit and hold, 19 years today as of the day of September 11th, and having this kind of news cycle of, it made me think about, what happened back then and our leadership back then, and how this country during a time of crisis really came together, and how 19 years later we're in a pandemic, and we could be no closer than my neighbor is to me. And so just very different times.
Yeah. The Washington Post has it saying that there was no casual deceit, no singular slip of the tongue, but a purposeful and repeated falsehood by Mr. Trump's own admission.
Yeah.
So I think that on March 19th, I wanted to always play it down. That's what the Washington Post has been saying. So, I agree. I don't know where we would be if we had a different president, or if our president had taken ownership a long time ago. I don't know, what the precautions would be. I sometimes do get a little, as I'm sure everyone out there does, like, get a little nervous and sad that, specifically around times like Serena was playing last night, and we couldn't go to somewhere and all of us get together and watch it, or we can't go and watch football, or we can't celebrate the twins' birthday the way that we normally would, or celebrate anybody's birthday, graduations, all these things that we have missed out on, or opportunities. And it is just my prayer, my hope, that people have tried to figure out other ways to connect and to kind of like stay immersed in with each other, and just kind of just stay on top of it. I know it's tough, and we are not at all saying that it's not tough. We all are experiencing it and dealing with it our best way. I haven't seen my mom in quite some time. So, because again, we have to be mindful of our elders and where we are, how we're feeling. So it's just always some stuff there. So I get it. And as you talk about 9/11, 19 years ago, when the world or our country was under attack, I remember where I was in my building, and the assignment I got put on a week later after that. And so, we just want to send prayers and shout outs to those family members, those that are impacted, those that lost lives, New York itself, who stood together, who came together as a family and unity and rose from that, and is still healing from it. So 19 years. So shout out to the 9/11 survivors, shout out to the 9/11 families and those that were that we did.
Yeah.
We want to lift you up in prayer and just thank God that we're still moving through to heal from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff.
I hear Ashton saying Ashton said he was still in high school. I know that's right. You were still in high school, bro. Johnson, so speaking in terms of all that, it is very important that you vote like you're like vote like you trying to get free. Like I need people to kind of like be mindful of all of that, because it's very important that that's something that we do to make sure that we attempt to make a change. And that's something that we're going to share with y'all tonight about what happens when your voice isn't being heard, or what happens when you are silenced and things like that. We're going to come back with that. But we just wanted to share that real quick with people. Johnson, you're preaching on Sunday.
I am. I'm
excited about that. So I want all the people out there in Cyberland to chime in on Sunday at 10:30.
Yeah.
Is it at 10:30?
10:30. Start praying now. Start praying now. I trust God and all that God is in me and with me, and we're gonna do the thing.
So I trust and believe that you're gonna be fine. I know this is a different process for you that you've never ever ventured in, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what Sunday brings. Yeah. So you'll be all right. I want to talk about one thing, and then we're gonna roll to our presentation. I had a conversation with an educator who we were talking about Carly B and Stallion's song WAP, and how they were walking around and the kids are talking about this WAP. And the educator, who's actually a very, very dear, loving companion of mine, Mike Diamond, was saying that, he felt some kind of way because, that is not how you pronounce WAP. So I was like, well, the song talks about WAP. The song talks about, and I'm not at all. I think the song is what it is. And obviously rappers get to talk about what they want and what it means and things like that. But in terms of how to pronounce WAP, or WAP, right? It's actually WAP, WAP.
Okay.
So what I find interesting is that people are walking around talking about a WAP. So is somebody out there who is an English teacher or a great with phonetics or whatever that can explain to us what the actual pronunciation of WAP is? I will be great. I will be happy to hear from it. So, and I know I cannot wait to see what Joy puts in there, but think about it. I just a little something to think about. I don't know what Carla B was on when she made up the song, but maybe what kind of words she needs to find out. There are two ways to pronounce the letter A, just as okay. Look, see, this is what I'm talking about. Talk about it. Yeah. Are you sure? Are you positive?
Where's Elder Harris during this time? She'd get us right.
That will be, you know what? I'm going to text her, because what I don't want is this educator to be running around talking about something. The girl then pronounce the name all wrong. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah. So I see Ashton. I can't put it up on the screen though. This is what Ashton said. Ashton, as he gives his pose. There are two ways to pronounce the letter A, just as any vowel, and laugh out loud. So thank you, Ashton. I just want us. Anybody else put anything in there? I'm getting slow responses here.
No, but when we get done this, I want to address Joy's question about tips.
What was that question?
So any tips on how to stay informed and not be depressed, even with meditations? So Joy, this is some way that I truly pay attention to how the news impacts my emotions, right? So before the pandemic, most people know from October to March is a really tough season for me, and it's winter and it's cold and it's dark, and the weather reports really make me anxious, right? And so I don't want to watch the news because that's all everybody's talking about, and I'm watching the forecast. And so what I've done, some tips that help me cope when the news is making me anxious is I acknowledge, and I notice the uncertainty and the anxiety feelings as they come to mind, right? So I can be very specific and name, like the news during this pandemic is crazy because it drives me crazy and it sets my anxiety up. Because I don't know what to trust, right? And then pause and focus on your breath and take a moment to clear your mind, right? So if you want to be informed, but you also need to pay attention to how the information is impacting you. So get control. Mindfulness teaches us that we are our breath and we owns our breath. So get control of that and then pull back. Remind yourself as you've reminded with your breath that tell yourself that it's you don't need to worry about it, right? It's only thoughts and feelings. Remember that the thoughts and feelings, which tempts us to be catastrophic or tempts us to be very anxious, are not facts. And then let it go. Imagine a negative thought just as, when it's cold outside and you see your breath and you just let it go. And then explore whatever's in that present moment, right? So I have the opportunity to have little kids in my house who control my TV. You guys saw the picture, right? I don't really have a living room. And so I've had to, now am not afforded the opportunity to just soak in all of this news. So figure out what is that moment for you that if it's a series, during the pandemic, I rewatched The Big Bang Theory because it makes me laugh. So I watch a little news to stay informed. What I typically do is I just read the highlights from CNN or MSNBC, even Fox News, right? Because I want to have the other side of it, just as my preference. And I let it go. And so in that moment, it's what helps me just to acknowledge, to pause, pull back, let go, and then explore other things. So I hope that was helpful.
Yeah. I'll add that also remember that the first 90 seconds is all about raw emotions. Yeah. And I, like Johnson named, name it what it is. Anything after that 90 seconds is fueled by our own experience. So for me, I do not watch the news. I am informed as I spend time with people and helping people and being with people, talking about it helps me. So if, talking about it with Johnson and that informs me, and it doesn't shift or fuel any depression because we're talking about resolution. We're talking about being proactive.
Yeah.
And so, what do we do in the meantime? And so just hold on. Like, and I know that's tough probably to say that in terms of, you say hold on, but I'm trying to hold on. Yeah. Do the best you can. That's all we can do at this moment.
That's
right?
it.
And everything. I love Johnson. I love the way that you phrased that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to shift here. I don't want to play our presentation because I want to back up to some of the 9/11 comments. And I see you, Stephanie, where you said you remember where you were on that day like it was yesterday. Is there anyone out there who remembers what it was on 9/11 when we were attacked by a vicious group of entity that wanted to take us down? And so I'll share with me. I would remember being in the cafeteria and being very nervous because we were one of the groups that needed to stay while everybody had to move through. And so what we did know was that that once that happened and then the Pentagon happened, it was told that, there might be other stuff going on. And so we needed to be mindful. So, but I was one of the ones that needed to stay in the building while everyone tried to get home. I remember that day. It was very clear that none of the phones would work, and my mom was trying to reach me. I was in the cafeteria. It was a very nervous day. So anybody out there that want to share a comment that was out there? Johnson, where were you on 9/11?
I was at work. I just got into work, and I just remember being really confused. I remember someone saying something. Someone ran into I worked in an open bay office. Someone ran into the office and said something's going on in New York, and then all of us went to congregate in a conference room. And I just remember being confused. At that time, I didn't have any real close connections to folks in the New York, New Jersey area like I do now. So it was, for me, I worked for a nonprofit company, so I wasn't, getting set in action like you were. I just was confused because in my lifetime, nothing like this has ever happened. And so I just remembered just saying, God help us. Right. And doing what my default is to pray. And so I just really felt confused. And as the day progressed on, that's where the other emotions came. My stepfather at the time was an active hazmat fire chief. And so I remember a couple of days later, my sister calling me upset because he was leaving Maryland to go to New York. Right. And so, but that's the only kind of true tie to New York. When I met Joy, she shared her story with me as she was, in a train trying to get into New York, trying to get to a presentation up there or a studio or something. But yeah, I just remember being just really confused.
Yeah, I can dig it. If you have never visited the museum in New York, I will
Yeah.
just encourage and motivate you that when it opens up, if it's not open yet, to please go down and check it out. It's absolutely beautiful how they did it. There's a comment from Heidi that says, I remember having to be on a call and our hospitals were becoming a possible field hospital for survivors, but there wasn't any survivors to take care of. Then there's another one from Loretta that says that I was on my way to work that day. And Ashton talks about how it was a lot of chaos and panic. And so my mom was close enough to the Pentagon to hear and feel the impact that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very scary. It was a very scary time. And our hearts are out there with the people who are still feeling the impact from that and struggling with the loss. And every year being reminded, because 9/11 is huge. You know, it's a huge moment in our community, in our country.
Right.
And
that, right? 2,977 people died. That's what's reported, and 2,500,000 people injured, right? Non-fatal. Again, for me, that's where this country for me completely shifted, right? That's truly when I wanted to be informed, right? And so as Joy talked about, wanting to watch the news and be informed, it was September 11th that I started to pay attention to the news. I wanted to be informed what was going on in the world. And again, as I think about being in this pandemic in 2020, and what's going on in our world, I crave for the camaraderie that we felt the months after September 11th, the unity that we felt. So that's what I crave for right now. That's what I wish, as a country, we could, pull on some of that hope and fortitude during this time.
Yeah. 6 days after that, I flew off to Saudi Arabia to stand up our first command post infrastructure, technology infrastructure for the command post in the Saudi Arabia United States Embassy in Saudi Arabia. Riyadh was the exact place where we were, and it was very scary. It was. I probably out of all of my trips, and I mean, I've been to Baghdad and the world. I mean, out of all of my tasks, assignments that I've been a part of, that was one of the most stressful. It was. I was worried, like I was scared, and I'm sure I was scared a lot of times. But I remember that feeling of where I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like everything was on lockdown and things like that. So, and that changed our country in terms of security.
Yeah.
That's why we have Homeland Security. That's why we have TSA. And so, I'm glad that we have turned to different precautions, being proactive and stuff like this. We keep going back to being proaction, right? I keep those are little nuggets for you for Sunday, right?
What are you doing? I'm taking notes.
Yeah. Now again, obviously,
he was in his office and he brought his staff in and they had prayer. Wow. Yo, your mom.
John Goodwin says that. Go ahead.
Go on.
I was so afraid. Go ahead.
So mom says, she was afraid that morning. The Philadelphia transportation people were running trains and she couldn't get in touch with Sean and her wife and her children. And she just prayed for my son. Yeah. What John did say, I missed that.
John said, and John is interesting because I just heard that John told Loretta that he knew us in Inner Light, and I feel some kind of way because I don't remember John. I have to be very honest. Like it was a lot going on that time, and you had to be 12 or 10. So he says I was actually in kindergarten when this happened, and remember being picked up from school, and everybody just waited for my mom to come home because at the time she worked near the Pentagon.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was real. Like that was real. Our pastor talks about, he can't believe it's 19 years. Yeah, bro. The museums and memorial sites are, yeah, I join you, Heidi. Absolutely. So check it out. Go and check that out. Go and just check it out. Especially, take your kids, especially those that was not involved or was living around that time. It's part of our history.
Yeah, absolutely.
So speaking of proaction, I wanted to just talk about a little quick boom. Here we go. And let's talk about our 2020 virtual convocation, our Holy Convocation for Unity Fellowship Church Movement. Registration is going on now. Registration is $50, and it's from October 8th through the 11th. It's going to be an amazing time. We have workshops throughout the day. We have services at night. Sunday, there's a youth and young adult event going on. Or workshops going on, or some type of activity. And then the Game Changers will be doing some type of programming. And then we'll have an amazing Saturday evening. And then we'll come back for Sunday for our normal convocation service as we consecrate our new deacons, ministers, reverends, and even pastors. So, please check us out. We'll put the link for registration out there. This is our first time doing something like this. We are excited about it, and we hope that you join us. Johnson, you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so join us. Virtual. Again, the programming will be dynamic. If you have never had the opportunity to experience Unity Fellowship Church Movement Holy Convocation, it is a time. And I know there are people are like, oh, how do we recreate what we have when we all get together? But I know the House of Bishops, and the fire in their bellies does not check out because they are not on a podium in the same room. And so we will have dynamic preaching and teaching. If I've had the opportunity to sit through some of the planning sessions, and the team's working extremely hard. Game Changers, we had our check-in last night, and the ideas that are formulating are going to be phenomenal. So you don't want to miss it. Again, donating $50. For many of you, you have spent $50. Let me talk about myself on Amazon just this week. I took a picture of the boxes that I had to break down. But yeah, donating $50 is a small donation to get a wealth of information, connections, just from your living room chair, from your desk chair. So please join us.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout outs to our one of our Elder Taylor, who is celebrating his birthday this week. He also had a grandson. One of the Game Changers.
Yeah. And Gigi just became a grandmother. You were saying
Gigi, yeah. To the grandmother. So definitely check them out on their Facebook page. They're excited, to have a birthday and to have a kid born within, I think that's a week, 7 days. His birthday is the 4th, the same day as the twins, and then his grandchild, Gigi's grandchild, is also born on yesterday. So shout out to them. I think we're going to go ahead and move to our presentation. I think that how do you feel about it? We may go over about 10 minutes.
I feel great. It's a TED Talk with and I'm gonna probably mispronounce her name, but Luvi Ajay, Nigerian-born sister, talking about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so thank you, Ashton, for reminding Sean about this and introducing me to this.
We originally planned to do this a long time ago, and I completely forgot about it. But Ashton, who is amazing, he keeps us on check. He was like, "Hey, remember?" Yeah, so he was like, "Remember this?" And so we thought it would be great. It fits, and so
So getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can face, and we were talking about this. You can face your discomfort and anxiety by changing your relationship to change. Right. So I'm excited. Go on and jump right into it, Rob.
All right, here you go. Check it out. It's really dope.
I'm a professional troublemaker. As my job is to critique the world, the shoddy systems, and the people who refuse to do better. As a writer, as a speaker, as a shady Nigerian, I feel like my purpose is to be this cat. I am the person who's looking at other people like, I need you to fix it. That is me. I want us to leave this world better than we found it. And how I choose to affect change is by speaking up, by being the first, and by being the domino. For a line of dominoes to fall, one has to fall first, which then leaves the other choiceless to do the same. And that domino that falls, we're hoping that, okay, the next person that sees this is inspired to be a domino. Being the domino for me looks like speaking up and doing the things that are really difficult, especially when they're needed, with the hope that others will follow suit. And here's the thing. I'm the person who says what you might be thinking, but dare not to say. And a lot of times people think that we're fearless. The people who do this, we're fearless. We're not fearless. We're not unafraid of the consequences or the sacrifices that we have to make by speaking truth to power. What happens is we feel like we have to, because there are too few people in the world willing to be the domino, too few people willing to take that fall. We're not doing it without fear. Now let's talk about fear. I knew exactly what I wanted to be when I grew up. I was like, I'm gonna be a doctor. Dr. Lovey was the dream. I was Doc McStuffins before it was a thing. And I remember when I went to college, my freshman year, I had to take Chemistry 101 for my pre-med major. I got the first and last D of my academic career. So I went to my advisor and I was like, okay, let's drop the pre-med because this doctor thing is not gonna work because I don't even like hospitals. So let's just consider that done for. And that same semester, I started blogging. That was 2003. So as that one dream was ending, another was beginning. And then what was a cute hobby became my full-time job when I lost my marketing job in 2010. But it still took me 2 more years to say, I'm a writer. 9 years after I had started writing before I said, I'm a writer, because I was afraid of what happens without 401ks, without, how am I gonna keep up my shoe habit? That's important to me. So it took me that long to own this thing. That was what my purpose was. And then I realized fear has a very concrete power of keeping us from doing and saying the things that are our purpose. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let fear rule my life. I'm not gonna let fear dictate what I do. And then all these awesome things started happening and dominoes started to fall. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, 2015, I turned 30. It's gonna be my year of do it anyway. Anything that scares me, I'm gonna actively pursue it. So I'm a Capricorn. I like my feet solidly on the ground. I decided to take my first ever solo vacation, and it was out of the country to the Dominican Republic. So on my birthday, what did I do? I went ziplining through the forest of Punta Cana. And for some odd reason, I had on business casual. Don't ask why. And I had an incredible time. Also, I don't like being submerged in water. I like to be, again, on solid ground. So I went to Mexico and swam with dolphins underwater. And then the cool thing that I did also that year that was my mountain was I wrote my book, I'm Judging You, the Do Better Manual. And I had to own that whole writing thing now, right? Yes. But the very anti-me thing that I did that year that scared the crap out of me, I went skydiving. We're about to fall out the plane. I was like, I've done some stupid things in life. This is one of them. And then we come falling down to earth, and I literally lose my breath as I see earth. And I was like, I just fell out of a perfectly good plane on purpose. What is wrong with me? But then I looked down at the beauty, and I was like, this is the best thing I could have done. This is an amazing decision. And I think about the times when I have to speak truth. It feels like I'm falling out that plane. It feels like that moment when I'm at the edge of the plane, and I'm like, you shouldn't do this. But then I do it anyway because I realize I have to. Sitting at the edge of that plane and kind of staying on that plane is comfort to me. And I feel like every day that I'm speaking truth against institutions and people who are bigger than me and just forces that are more powerful than me, I feel like I'm falling out of that plane. But I realize comfort is overrated because being quiet is comfortable. Keeping things the way they've been is comfortable. And all comfort has done is maintain the status quo. So we've got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable by speaking these hard truths when they're necessary. And for me, though, I realized that I have to speak these truths because honesty is so important to me. My integrity is something I hold dear. Justice, I don't think justice should be an option. We should always have justice. Also, I believe in shea butter as a core value. And I think the world would be better if we were all more moisturized. But besides that, with these as my core values, I have to speak the truth. I have no other choice in the matter. But then people like me, the professional troublemakers, should not be the only ones who are committed to being these dominoes who are always falling out the planes or being the first one to take this hit. People are so afraid of these acute consequences, not realizing that there are many times when we walk in rooms and we are some of the most powerful people in those rooms. We might be the second most powerful, third most powerful. And I firmly believe that our job in those times is to disrupt what is happening. And then if we're not the most powerful, if two more of us band together, it makes us powerful. It's like co-signing the woman in the meeting, you know, the woman who can't seem to get her word out, or just making sure that other person who can't make a point is being heard. Our job is to make sure they have room for that. Everyone's well-being is community business. If we made that a point, we'd understand that for the times when we need help, we wouldn't have to look around so hard if we made sure we were somebody else's help. And there are times when I feel like I have taken very public tumbles and falls. Like a time when I was asked to speak at a conference, and they wanted me to pay my way there. And then I did some research and found out the white men who spoke there got compensated and got their travel paid for. The white women who spoke there got their travel paid for. The black women who spoke there were expected to actually pay to speak there. And I was like, what do I do? And I knew that if I spoke up about this publicly, I could face financial loss. But then I also understood that my silence serves no one. So I fearfully spoke up about it publicly, and other women started coming out to talk about, I too have faced this type of pay inequality. And it started a conversation about discriminatory pay practices that this conference was participating in. I felt like I was the domino the time I read a disturbing memoir by a public figure and wrote a piece about it. And I knew this person was more powerful than me and could impact my career. But I was like, I gotta do this. I gotta sit at the edge of this plane, maybe for 2 hours. And I did. And I pressed publish and I ran away. And I came back to a viral post and people being like, oh my God, I'm so glad somebody finally said this. And it started a conversation about mental health and self-care. And I was like, okay, all right, this thing that I'm doing, I guess, all right, it's doing something. And then so many people have been the domino when they talk about how they've been assaulted by powerful men. And it's made millions of women join in and say, me too. So shout out to Tarana Burke for igniting that movement. People and systems count on our silence to keep us exactly where we are. Now, being the domino sometimes comes down to being exactly who you are. So I've been a shady somebody since I was 3. This is me on my 3rd birthday. But I've been this girl all my life. And I feel like even that's been the domino, because in a world that wants us to walk around as representatives of ourselves, being yourself can be a revolutionary act. And in a world that wants us to whisper, I choose to yell. When it's time to say these hard things, I ask myself 3 things. 1, did you mean it? 2, can you defend it? 3, did you say it with love? If the answer is yes to all 3, I say it and let the chips fall. That's important. That checkpoint with myself always tells me, yes, you're supposed to do this. Telling the truth, telling thoughtful truth should not be a revolutionary act. Speaking truths to power should not be sacrificial, but they are. But I think if more of us chose to do this for the greater good, we'd be in better spaces than we are right now. Speaking of the greater good, I think we commit ourselves to telling truths to build bridges to common ground. And bridges that aren't based on truth will collapse. So it is our job, it is our obligation, it is our duty to speak truth to power, to be the domino. Not just when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. Thank you.
Yay, that was pretty dope. I love that. Your thoughts around that, Johnson?
Did you mean it? Can you defend it? And did you say it with love, right?
Yeah. Speak up. Silence serves no one.
It serves no one. What? It was powerful. Again,
Getting
comfortable with being uncomfortable. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for enduring the extra time with us. I can talk to Sean all day, all night, and never run out of things to say. So thank you for indulging us for our kind of chatted up, went a little long tonight. But the video was 10 minutes and 55 seconds, and it's life-changing.
It really is.
It just serves that you don't have to talk for an hour to make powerful statements.
Right. And what she encouraged us to do is to do something that we've never wanted to do. Like, just try it, just do it anyway. Yeah. And then she went into about the silence and how that serves no one, and how powerful it can be, how powerful we can be as dominoes to stand up and speak the truth about things. And so as we are talking about proaction, how does that inspire you to be the domino? How long have you sat in silence and not said something that would inspire or change someone else's life? And how long have you sat and not done something that you always wanted to do? And so Loretta and Ashton, I'm going to be texting y'all because we're going skydiving. It's one thing I've never done that I want to do. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. It speaks to, they always talk about this. A preacher has one thing really to say, and he or she says it all the time in their sermons. It's just the same. And one of the things that I know is, like, we cannot allow fear to halt us. Like, It's okay to be scared, but when it halts you is when we need to sit back and think about, well, why are you not moving towards what you want? Yeah. So she reminded me of that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Beautiful. And her book, I'm Judging You, the Do Better Manual, is, I encourage everyone to go and get a copy. It's $10 on Kindle and $17 or $1 credit on Audible. So many people are always looking for stuff for insight. This is one that's, again, low cost and life changing.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think that it'll be something that will definitely get in you and change you for life. I also want to talk about the shea butter.
So did you see my comment in the chat?
I did not. What did you say?
Shea butter makes me sneeze.
Oh, so I have just got turned on the shea butter. Now, mind y'all, I have been to Africa tons of times and have seen them create the shea butter, and have been over New York, and I've seen everybody does, like, but I have come in contact with a young lady who creates this kind of shea butter. It's called Shea Love. And when I tell you, this is the most creamiest moisturized stuff I have ever used on my skin. And many of you know I'm very particular about what I put on my skin. But this stuff right here, and it smells. So what she does is she takes your favorite oil and she mixes it in with the shea butter. And when I tell you this is divine, it radiates my skin. I can talk about it all day. I just wanted to tell you that.
I'm going to change my mind to see if you're going to buy me some and send me some to see.
You see, no, what I can do is next week, I'll give y'all the information for the young lady. It's called Creamy Butter That Soothes the Tone of Your Skin. Let me tell you something. This is some good stuff. Now, I could put this on. I'm not going to talk about it no more. We'll talk about it in our Black businesses and as we create and make a space for that. But I just thought it was cute that she talked about shea butter.
Yeah.
But what?
No, it does. So it, you know, I have allergies, but it really does. Any type of shea butter that I use, it makes me sneeze.
Because she got the corner store one. That's what it was. She went to the corner store and she got that shea butter for $1.99.
Not the
Y'all know Johnson cheap. Johnson cheap, y'all. Johnson is cheap. You hear me? So I'll get the information for the shea butter and I'll put it out for everybody to check it out. It is divine. This woman she took her 12 years, I think, to make this formula. It is absolutely fabulous. So yeah, but we're glad that you all enjoyed it. You know, at Refuel, we're trying to bring things that will help encourage and promote change. And so we want to be proactive. We want to be proaction. We want to be proactive in getting I'm gonna get her because our theme for Convocation is proaction. So let's do things that will promote and create change as we prepare for that. Okay, we love you guys.
Troublemaker, you guys.
Yes.
Put in the envelope.
Joy, I will get you the website. Don't worry, Michelle. I love stop and do today what you always say you will do. I love that. John, it's good to see you. We got to connect. I'm moving to Alabama, so I look forward to connecting to you even more because you're only 3 hours away, so we have to catch up. Leave my sister alone. Who's your sister, Bishop?
Talking about me. Don't call me cheap.
It's the truth. You woman just speak the truth. Do you mean it? Can you defend it? And did you stay in love?
That's it. That's right. So Coffee with Pastor tomorrow is back. 10:30.
Oh, that's right.
You have it on your feed. Go and scroll and find it. Do you have it up there?
That's a good thing. No, I do not.
Okay, so
what I do have is that I want to share with everyone. Go ahead, finish up with our pastor.
No. So it's our time to get on a Zoom call with our pastor. If you've never had the opportunity to spend time with my pastor, you are missing a treat. He's a wonderful down-to-earth, open guy, willing to talk about anything. And it was very important for him to create this space for us. And so join us tomorrow at 10:30 for Coffee with the Pastor. We'll get the Zoom information posted tonight. Yeah,
check it out. The other thing that we want to share with everyone, and this is going to be dear to our heart if you just hook us up with this, I want everybody to just pay attention to this right now. I want you to go to all the social media, specifically YouTube. I want you to go to UFC Baltimore, and I want you to subscribe to our page. I want you so that when we come live to you, you'll get notified. Our Instagram is UFC_Baltimore, and our Facebook is UFC Baltimore. Please follow us on social media. We'll be doing some special events on there, and that we definitely want you to be a part of and to be notified. So please come check us out.
Yeah, and as always, we appreciate all your love gifts. Continue to donate to Unity Fellowship Church of Baltimore. We are, putting this on, and your donations are greatly appreciated. I see you trying to find the link. That was the right one.
I'm running the show today because Ashton's working. But there you go.
There are many ways to give via Realm. You can text the amounts or go to our Cash App, $sign Unity Baltimore. All of your gifts are welcome and appreciated to continue to have to help this ministry grow and higher heights and deeper depths. Thank you. Vote with pride. Don't forget your vote matters. Your voice matters. Please exercise your right to vote. If you haven't requested your mail-in ballot, please do so today. Find out what your state requires and make sure that your voice is heard. This is not the year to sit out, not just because it's the presidential election, but there are a lot of seats in Congress that are up for election in your local government. Your voice matters, and so exercise your right to vote.
Yeah, silence doesn't serve anyone. We love you all. We thank you. We'll see you next Friday. And next Friday, we have. Yeah, I may not be in this area.
That's
next Friday. We'll see. We'll check it out. We love you. Good night, Johnson. I love you. Mwah.
Catch the kiss.
All right, take care, everybody. We love you. Good seeing everyone who chimed in tonight. Ciao. You did good.
Thank you. You did too. You kept looking up. Like, is that the answer? Is the answer to the right or to the left?
I guess I should stop the live feed because I didn't before you started talking crap about me. This is what happens when you are on bloopers and stuff. You see, you just can't. That was I looking up like I was looking. Like,
You were like, I thought the answer was there. I was waiting.
We're done. We're over. Good night, everybody. This is how we carry on.